A black man in a car this nice? Stolen. Has to be. Officer Derek Hayes says it loud, loud enough for Samuel Carter to hear. Loud enough to shame him. September 13th, Peachtree and 5th. 4 white officers circle one black man beside a $60,000 BMW. The car is registered. Legal. Doesn't matter. Step out. Now. Hands up. The hood burns his palms. Hayes searches him. Searches the car. Finds nothing. Searches again. Where'd you steal this? Not if. Where? Phones record. Another black man humiliated for being successful. Another Friday in America. Then Samuel reaches inside his jacket. Slow. Pulls out gold. Federal gold. An FBI badge. Hayes's face drains white. 18 seconds of pure silence. The man he's degrading? Been investigating him for 6 months. The body cam? Will mysteriously fail. 8th time. 2.3 million people will watch what happens next. This traffic stop will expose an 8-year conspiracy. You think you've seen this before. You haven't. Stay. Samuel Carter is running late. His mother's birthday dinner starts in 40 minutes and he's still 12 miles from her house in East Atlanta. Fried chicken, collard greens, peach cobbler cooling on the counter. He can almost smell it from here. But he's not speeding. He never speeds. The BMW is his, paid for. Every penny accounted for in a federal salary that doesn't buy luxuries easily. 34 years old, 12 years with the FBI, 6 months deep into an investigation that keeps him up most nights. Today was supposed to be different. Today was supposed to be simple. September in Atlanta means heat that clings to your skin even at 3 in the afternoon. The air conditioning hums soft. Leather seats smell like new car, though the BMW is 3 years old now. Coltrane plays low on the radio, a kind of blue. The saxophone wraps around him like a conversation he doesn't have to answer. Samuel's phone sits in the cup holder, silent. He made sure of that. No work calls today, no encrypted messages, no case files, just him and the road and the promise he made his mother. I'll be there by 6, Mama. Promise. She's turning 66 today. Dorothy Carter, retired nurse, strongest woman he knows. She raised him alone after his father died, taught him to keep his hands visible, taught him to say, "Yes, officer," even when every muscle screams otherwise, taught him that surviving isn't the same as living, but sometimes it's all you can do. He doesn't know it yet, but in 4 minutes, everything he's worked for will be on the line. The FBI case file sits in a secure server downtown. FBI Atlanta Field Office. Case number ATL 2024-0891. Classification TS SCI. Top secret, sensitive compartmented information. Opened April 12th. Target: corruption ring inside Metro Atlanta Police Department. Kickbacks. No bid contracts. $2.4 million in dirty money. Samuel's been building the case brick by brick. Bank records, email threads, meetings in parking garages with sources who risk everything to talk. He's close. Maybe too close. Sector 8. His colleagues at the FBI warned him about Sector 8. High crime stats, higher complaint rates, the kind of numbers that look good on paper but cost lives in reality. He drives through it every day. Has to. His apartment sits right on the edge. Red light. Peachtree and 5th. Samuel stops. Checks the mirror out of habit. Adjusts the rear view to catch the full intersection behind him. A QT gas station sits diagonal across the street. Security camera mounted above the pumps. He notes it without thinking. 12 years in federal law enforcement does that. You see cameras everywhere. That's when he sees the patrol car. Metro Atlanta PD. Cruiser number 428. White with blue stripes. Sitting 3 cars back. The officer behind the wheel stares straight at Samuel's BMW. Even from here, through tinted windows and afternoon glare, Samuel can feel the weight of that stare. The light stays red. 43 seconds. Samuel counts them. An old habit. Time moves different when you're being watched. Green light. Samuel accelerates, smooth. No sudden moves. The BMW pulls forward. Behind him, Cruiser 428 follows. 1 car length. 2. 3. Then the siren chirps. Once. Samuel's hands tighten on the wheel. The leather is warm under his palms. Real. Paid for. Legal. The siren chirps again. Samuel's heart rate stays steady. 62 beats per minute. Training kicks in. Breathe. Think. Comply. Red light. Peachtree and 5th. He stops. Checks the mirror. That's when he sees the patrol car. And the patrol car sees him. The siren doesn't stop chirping. Samuel pulls to the right. Smooth. Deliberate. Hands at 10 and 2. The BMW eases onto the shoulder of Peachtree Street. September heat radiates off the asphalt. He can feel it even through the car's climate control. Engine off, keys on the dashboard, hands visible. This isn't the first time. In the rearview mirror, Cruiser 428 parks 6 feet behind him. Door opens. An officer steps out. White, 40s, solid build, hand rests near his service weapon. Not on it, just near. Close enough to send a message. The officer approaches. Slow, methodical, like he has all the time in the world. His boots sound heavy on pavement. Left side approach. Standard procedure. Samuel keeps his hands on the wheel. Doesn't turn, doesn't move. Tap on the window. 2 knuckles. Sharp. Samuel lowers it halfway. Hot air rushes in. License and registration. No, sir. No, good afternoon. No, do you know why I stopped you? Just the command. The officer's voice is flat, professional, cold. Yes, officer, Samuel says. His voice doesn't waver. My license is in my wallet, back pocket. Registration is in the glove box. I'm going to reach for them slowly. The officer says nothing, just watches. His nameplate reads Hayes, Derek Hayes, 16 years on the force. Samuel knows this because he knows everything about Hayes. Has for months. Hayes is part of the investigation, part of the pattern, but Hayes doesn't know that. Not yet. Samuel moves slow. Wallet from back pocket. License out. Georgia ID. Current. Clean. Registration from glove box. Insurance card clipped to it. All current. All legal. He hands them through the window. Hayes takes them without a word. Studies the license. Looks at Samuel. Looks at the BMW. Looks at the license again. Step out of the vehicle. Samuel's pulse ticks up. 68. Still controlled. May I ask why, officer? Step out of the vehicle. Hayes's hand shifts, closer to his weapon now. Not a threat. Not quite. But the possibility hangs in the air like smoke. Samuel opens the door. Slow. Hands visible. Every movement telegraphed. He steps onto the asphalt. The heat hits him full force. 92 degrees. Feels like 100. Hayes keys his radio. Dispatch 428 requesting backup. Peachtree and 5th. Suspicious vehicle. High-value target. Suspicious vehicle. The BMW is registered. Insured. Vienne comes back clean. Samuel knows this. Hayes knows this. But the call goes out anyway. 3 minutes later, 3 more cruisers arrive. Lights flashing. No sirens, just lights. Blue and red painting the intersection like a crime scene. 4 officers now, for 1 man. Sitting still, hands visible, engine off. Officer number 2, Tyler Brooks, 29. 3 years on the force. He positions himself driver's side rear. Hand on weapon. Officer number 3, Kevin Grant. 33, 5 years. Passenger side front. Officer number 4, Amy Wilson. 26, rookie. She hangs back. Doesn't draw, just watches. Hayes calls dispatch again. Running VIN now. Stand by. The VIN comes back clean. The VIN comes back. Registration clean. Insurance clean. Everything legal. Everything documented. But Hayes doesn't stop. Face the car. Hands on the hood. Samuel complies. The hood is warm under his palms, metal heated by afternoon sun. He spreads his feet, assumes the position. He's done this before, not because he's guilty, because of what he looks like in an expensive car. People stop. A teenager pulls out his phone. A woman with a stroller crosses the street faster. Someone mutters, "Not again." The words drift on hot air. Hayes pats him down. Professional. Thorough. Searches for weapons that don't exist. For contraband that isn't there. For any excuse. "Where'd you get this car?" "I bought it, officer." "Whose is it really?" "It's mine, officer." "Where you coming from?" "Work, officer." "Where you headed?" "My mother's house, officer." Every answer short, respectful, true. Every answer changes nothing. The questions continue. The search continues. The 4 officers surround one man who has committed no crime. And across the street, at the QT gas station, camera 3 records everything. Full 1080p. Audio, yes. Timestamp 1437. 4 officers, 1 man, and a question Samuel isn't allowed to ask. Why? Traffic slows. Cars rubberneck. 4 police cruisers with lights flashing tend to draw attention, especially in Buckhead on a Friday afternoon. Phones come out. 1, 2, 5. A woman in running clothes stops jogging, pulls out her phone, opens TikTok. Username, Truthseeker, AATL. Hits record. "Y'all seeing this?" she says to her screen. The live stream counter starts climbing. 48,000 views in 20 minutes. Hayes knows he's being filmed. You can hear it in his voice. Louder now. More theatrical, playing to an audience he can't control. "Step out of the vehicle, now!" Samuel is already out. Has been for 3 minutes. But Hayes repeats the command anyway. For the record, for the cameras. For whatever report he'll file later. Face the car, hands on the hood. Samuel's face presses against warm metal. September heat mixing with humiliation. Every eye on him, every phone camera capturing him. Every second stripping dignity he spent 34 years building. A child's voice. "Mommy, why are the police hurting that man?" The mother has no answer. She just pulls her son closer and keeps walking. Hayes checks the VIN again, radios dispatch again. The dispatcher's voice crackles back. "Vine clear, registration current, no warrants, no holds." But Hayes doesn't let him go. "Spread your legs wider." Samuel complies. "Where'd you get the money for this car?" "I work for the federal government, officer." "Doing what?" Samuel pauses. 1 second. 2. The truth sits on his tongue, but he swallows it. Not yet. "I'm employed by the federal government." Hayes pats him down again. Second search. Same result. No weapons. No drugs. No contraband. Just a wallet, keys, and a phone. Brooks moves closer. His hand stays on his weapon. "You carrying anything illegal? Anything that's going to poke me, stick me, hurt me?" "No, sir." "Any weapons in the vehicle?" "No, sir." "Any drugs?" "No, sir." Grant circles to the passenger side, peers through the window, sees nothing suspicious because there's nothing suspicious to see. Leather seats. Coltrane still playing on the stereo. A reusable water bottle in the cup holder. Registration and insurance in the glove box. Still open from when Samuel retrieved them. The live stream grows. 70,000. 90,000. Comments flood in faster than anyone can read. Most of them variations on the same theme. DWBE, driving while black. Hayes radios again. Dispatch 428, request supervisor to scene. Copy, supervisor en route. ETA 4 minutes. 4 more minutes. Samuel's mother's birthday dinner starts in 36 minutes. The peach cobbler is probably cool now. His phone has been buzzing in the cup holder. 3 missed calls, all from her. He can't answer. Can't move. Can't do anything except stand here with his hands on the hood while 4 armed officers decide his fate. Across the street, the QT station camera keeps recording. Camera 3. Full coverage. Audio clear. Hayes checking his radio twice before giving commands. The timestamps will show everything. A man in a business suit stops his Lexus, rolls down his window. Is everything okay, officers? Hayes waves him on. Keep moving. Police business. The man hesitates, pulls out his phone. Another camera. Another witness. Wilson, the rookie, shifts her weight. She hasn't drawn her weapon. Hasn't touched Samuel. Just stands there watching. Her face shows something Hayes's doesn't. Doubt. Maybe discomfort. She's new enough to still question. Old enough to know better than to speak. Hayes runs the license again. 3rd time. Same result. Valid. Current. No violations. No warrants. Samuel Carter. 34 years old. Federal government employee. Clean record. Not even a parking ticket in 6 years. But the stop doesn't end. Who else drives this vehicle? Just me, officer. Anyone have access to it? No, officer. You sure about that? Yes, officer. The questions loop. Circular. Designed to trip him up. To find inconsistency where none exists. Samuel knows the technique. He's used it himself. But on the other side of the interrogation, it feels different. It feels like drowning in slow motion. Radio static crackles. Supervisor on scene. A 5th cruiser pulls up. Sergeant Stripes. The supervisor steps out. Takes in the scene. 4 officers surrounding 1 man in a business suit. Phones recording from 3 different angles. A growing crowd. And absolutely no probable cause for any of it. The supervisor walks to Hayes. They speak in low tones. Samuel can't hear the words, but he can read body language. The supervisor is asking questions. Hayes is providing answers, none of them good. Samuel's hands remain on the hood. His back is starting to ache. Shoulders tight from holding the position. Heart rate climbing. 73 now. Controlled but rising. The supervisor approaches. Sir, I apologize for the delay. We're going to need to verify a few more things. Verify. The word is meaningless. Everything has been verified. 3 times. But the charade continues. Somewhere, a car horn honks. Life continues. The world keeps turning. Friday afternoon traffic flows around them like water around a stone. The live stream hits 100,000 views. Hayes reaches for his cuffs. That's when Samuel makes a choice. Slowly, carefully, his voice steady as steel, he says, Officer, I need to show you something. Time slows. Hayes's hand freezes, half reaching for cuffs, half ready to escalate. Don't move, Hayes says. His voice has an edge now, sharper than before. I'm not resisting, Samuel says. But I need to show you something. It's in my jacket, inside pocket, left side. I'm going to reach for it slowly. Brooks tenses. Don't. I have to, Samuel says. You need to see this. The supervisor steps closer. What is it? My identification, Samuel says, each word careful, measured. My real identification. Hayes's jaw tightens. You already showed ID. Not all of it. Silence. 4 seconds that feel like 40. The supervisor nods. Slow. Keep your other hand visible. Samuel moves his right hand from the hood, inch by inch, reaches inside his jacket. Fingers find leather. Cool. Familiar. He pulls it out. The badge flips open. Gold shield catches September sun. Reflects it like a mirror. 3 words engraved across the top. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Below it, an ID card. Photo, name, title, Special Agent. Hayes stops breathing. The world stops breathing. 18 seconds of silence. You could count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No one moves. No one speaks. Just the distant hum of traffic, the buzz of the live stream, someone's phone notification pinging. Hayes's hand trembles, just slightly, just enough. But in the live stream, 200,000 people see it. The chat explodes. Brooks steps back, 1 foot, then another. Grant's hand drops from his weapon. Wilson exhales. A long breath that sounds like relief and horror mixed together. The supervisor's face goes carefully neutral, professional mask sliding into place, but his eyes tell the story. He knows what this means, what this costs. Hayes finds his voice. It cracks on the first word. You're FBI, Samuel says. Quiet. No volume. No anger. The truth doesn't need either. Special Agent Samuel Carter, I'm going to radio verification now. FBI Atlanta Field Office. They can confirm in 30 seconds. His hand moves to his own radio. FBI issued. Encrypted channel. He keys it. This is Agent Carter, badge number 38942, requesting immediate verification. I'm currently at Peachtree and 5th. Metro PD traffic stop. Badge authentication required. The response comes in 22 seconds. FBI Atlanta, Agent Carter verified, badge number confirmed, status active, assignment classified. Is this a duress call? Negative, Samuel says, just verification. The dispatcher pauses. Acknowledged, verification complete. Do you require assistance? Not at this time. Copy, logging incident, case number to follow. The radio goes silent. Hayes stares at the badge, then at Samuel, then at the badge again. The gold shield hasn't moved. Neither has Samuel. 4 guns half drawn, 4 officers suddenly unsure, and 1 federal agent who hasn't moved an inch. The live stream girl's voice cuts through. Oh shit, y'all, he's FBI, he's FBI. The comment section moves too fast to read. Reactions flooding in. Shares multiplying. The algorithm catches fire. Wilson whispers to Grant, Derek, what the hell? Hayes says nothing, just breathes. Heavy, harsh, like a man who just realized he grabbed the wrong end of a blade. The supervisor clears his throat, professional voice back in place. Agent Carter, I apologize for the inconvenience. You're free to go. Free to go. Like the last 8 minutes didn't happen. Like the cameras didn't catch everything. Like 200,000 people didn't just watch a federal agent get profiled, searched, and detained for the crime of driving while black in an expensive car. Samuel closes the badge. Slow. Deliberate. Puts it back in his jacket. Steps away from the hood. His hands don't shake. His voice doesn't rise. He just looks at Hayes. Really looks at him. And in that look is everything he doesn't say. Badge. Gun. Silence. The supervisor arrives. sees the badge, sees the crowd, sees the live stream, and says the words every cop dreads. Let him go. Now. Samuel drives away. The BMW pulls back into traffic. Smooth, legal, no violation, no crime, just a man going to his mother's birthday dinner 43 minutes late. His phone has 11 missed calls now. He'll explain later. Right now, his hands grip the wheel and his mind catalogs everything. Every word Hayes said, every illegal search, every second recorded by 3 different cameras. This isn't over. It's just beginning. Rachel Bennett calls him the next morning. She's a journalist, Atlanta Chronicle, investigative desk. 20 years breaking stories that matter. Samuel knows her work, respects it. But he's never spoken to her directly. Until now. Agent Carter, she says. Her voice is professional but urgent. I saw the video, 2.1 million views overnight. I'd like to talk. Samuel sits in his apartment, coffee cooling in his hand. Sleep didn't come easy. I can't comment on an ongoing investigation. I'm not asking about your investigation, Rachel says. I'm asking about you, what happened yesterday, and whether it's happened before. Silence. Samuel considers, weighs risk against opportunity. It's happened before, he says finally. Not to me, but to others. Many others. Then let me help you prove it. 24 hours later, Rachel files a Freedom of Information Act request. Target, Officer Derek Hayes' personnel file. Metro Atlanta Police Department is required by law to respond within 48 hours for expedited requests. They deliver in 46. 68 pages arrive. Samuel reads them in his office. FBI Atlanta Field Office. Secure room. No windows. Rachel sits across from him. Her notebook fills with shorthand. Page 1. Derek Hayes. Hired 2008. 16 years on the force. Current rank, officer. Current assignment, Sector 8 Patrol. Page 3, disciplinary history. The section should be comprehensive. For 16 years of service, there should be performance reviews, commendations, maybe a few minor infractions. The usual career trajectory. Instead, there's a list. 23 entries, all complaints, filed by citizens, logged by Internal Affairs, documented according to procedure. Entry 1, 2009, complaint of racial profiling. Black male driver, age 28, stopped for suspicious vehicle. Vehicle was registered. Driver was attorney. Complaint filed. Investigation. No violation found. Entry 2, 2009, complaint of excessive force during traffic stop. Black male driver, age 35, stopped for lane violation. Driver hospitalized with bruised ribs. Complaint filed. Investigation. Force deemed reasonable. Entry 3. 2010. Complaint of racial profiling. Black female driver, age 41, stopped for erratic driving. Driver was physician returning from night shift. Complaint filed. Investigation. No violation found. Oh. The entries continue. 19 complaints of racial profiling, 3 complaints of excessive force, 1 complaint of falsifying a police report, 23 total complaints over 16 years, disciplinary actions, 0, not 1 written warning, not 1 day of suspension, not 1 hour of retraining, 23 complaints investigated and cleared, every single time. Rachel sets down her pen. This isn't one bad cop. This is a system protecting him. Samuel nods. He's been building this case for 6 months, but seeing it laid out in black and white hits different. There's more, Rachel says. She pulls out her laptop, opens a document marked confidential, leaked to her by a source she won't name. Internal emails, Deputy Chief Paul Anderson. Subject line, Q3 productivity goals. The email is 3 paragraphs. Professional, bureaucratic, deadly. All patrol officers are reminded that quarterly performance evaluations include productivity metrics. Minimum 15 traffic stops per week. Minimum 8 citations per week. High-value stops, including arrests and vehicle seizures, carry bonus consideration for overtime privileges and preferred shift assignments. Productivity. That's what they call it. Not safety, not community policing. Productivity, numbers, quotas, targets, and Officer Derek Hayes exceeded his quota 11 consecutive quarters. Top performer in Sector 8, second highest in the entire department. The department calls it productivity. The community calls it hunting season. Rachel turns to another document. City Comptroller records, public information, settlement payments. The numbers scroll down the screen. Case after case. Lawsuit after lawsuit. Metro Atlanta Police Department. Defendant, City of Atlanta. 2019, $48,000. Excessive force. Hayes involved. Settled with non-disclosure agreement. 2020, $62,000 illegal search. Legal. Hayes's unit. Settled with NDA. 2021, $85,000. Racial profiling. Hayes named specifically. Settled with NDA. 2022, $93,000. False arrest. Hayes and 2 other officers. Settled with NDA. 2023, $52,000. Excessive force during traffic stop. Hayes involved. Settled with NDA. Total, $340,000. Paid out in 5 years. 14 cases involving Hayes or his immediate unit. All settled. All with non-disclosure agreements. All buried under legal paperwork and taxpayer money. Your money. My money. Paid to bury the truth. Each settlement comes with silence. That's the price. Justice or voice. Choose one. Samuel pushes back from the table, stands, walks to the window. Even though there is no window, just concrete walls and fluorescent lights. But he needs to move, needs to think. There's one more thing, Rachel says. The demographics. She opens the Metro Atlanta Police Department Annual Report. 2023, publicly available. Page 128. Sector 8 data. Population breakdown. 48% Black. 52% other ethnicities. Standard for the area. Nothing unusual. Traffic stop breakdown. 73% Black drivers. 27% other. High-value stops, meaning arrests. 81% Black drivers. Math doesn't lie. People do. Systems do. But 73% in a 48% neighborhood? That's not policing. That's profiling. Statistical impossibility. Unless the system is designed that way, unless the quota demands it, unless productivity means targeting the same people over and over because they're less likely to fight back, less likely to afford lawyers, less likely to be believed. You're probably wondering, how did no one stop this sooner? 23 complaints, 8 years, 0 consequences. Stay with me, because the answer is darker than you think. Rachel closes her laptop. I'm publishing tomorrow morning. Front page, above the fold. FBI agent profiled. What 16 years of complaints reveal. You okay with that? Samuel turns from the imaginary window. I'm okay with the truth. The truth, Rachel says, is going to piss off a lot of people. Good, Samuel says. Let them be pissed. But he doesn't know yet what that will cost. Receipt 1, 23 complaints. Receipt 2, 0 consequences. Receipt 3, quota emails. Receipt 4, $340,000 in settlements. Receipt 5, 73%. The stack grows. And with each receipt, the picture clarifies. It's not about one traffic stop. It's not about one officer. It's about a machine that grinds people down and calls it productivity. A system that pays for silence and calls it resolution. a culture that protects its own and calls it loyalty. Hayes isn't the disease. He's the symptom. The article publishes at 6 a.m. Within 2 hours, it's been shared 18,000 times. National outlets pick it up by noon. CNN, MSNBC, NPR. Local Atlanta stations run it on loop. By 2 p.m., Samuel's phone rings. Unknown number. He almost doesn't answer, but something tells him to pick up. The voice on the other end is calm, quiet, male. You should have stayed quiet. Click. Rachel Bennett publishes her first article. 48 hours later, Samuel's phone rings. Unknown number. The voice says, "You should have stayed quiet." The machine fights back. It starts small, professional. A statement from the police union released at 4 p.m. Officer Derek Hayes followed standard protocol for a suspicious vehicle stop. The body cam malfunction is unfortunate, but reflects equipment issues, not misconduct. We support our officer during this difficult time and look forward to a fair investigation. Standard protocol, equipment issues, fair investigation. The words sound reasonable. That's the point. Then it escalates. Metro Atlanta Police Department opens an internal review, not of Hayes, of the incident. Specifically, why a federal agent didn't identify himself immediately, whether Samuel's behavior contributed to the confusion, whether he obstructed a lawful stop. The narrative flips. Suddenly, Samuel is the problem. Not the victim. The problem. His FBI supervisor calls, "Carter, I need you to step back from the MAPD corruption case. Conflict of interest, you understand." "I understand someone wants me off it," Samuel says. "Not someone. Everyone. This is political now. Way above both our pay grades." Samuel gets reassigned. Desk duty. Case files he's built for 6 months get transferred to another agent. Someone who doesn't know the sources, doesn't know the patterns. Someone who will take another 6 months to get up to speed. The evidence doesn't disappear, but the momentum does. At FBI headquarters, colleagues who used to grab coffee with him suddenly have meetings. Conversations stop when he enters rooms. The liaison officer with MAPD pulls him aside. "You're making my job impossible." "Your job," Samuel says, "shouldn't require me to be quiet. Cooperation requires trust. You just blew that up." Isolation. Professional. Careful. Legal. But isolation nonetheless. Then the real threats start. 3 a.m., September 15th. Samuel's FBI office phone rings. He's still there. Can't sleep. Might as well work. He answers. Heavy breathing. No words. Just breath. Then, "Your boy should watch his back." Click. Burner phone. Untraceable. The FBI tech team tries anyway. Gets nothing. The calls continue. His apartment phone. 11 times in 2 days. Always the same. Breathing. Silence. Hang up. He stops answering. September 16th. His mother calls. Her voice shakes. "Baby, there's police outside my house." Samuel's blood goes cold. "What?" 3 nights now. Patrol car. Just sitting there. The neighbors are asking questions. "Mama, lock the doors. I'm coming over." "No," Dorothy Carter says. Firm. The voice that raised him. "You stay away. That's what they want. To make you scared. To make you react. You stay right where you are and you do your job." But her voice trembles when she says it. Samuel drives to her house anyway. East Atlanta. Small bungalow with a garden his mother tends every morning. Sure enough, a Metro PD cruiser sits 2 houses down. Not Sector 8. Different precinct. But the message is clear. He takes photos. Documents the time. Notes the cruiser number. Adds it to the file. Captain James Sullivan calls him the next day. "Internal Affairs investigator." 18 years on the job. They've never spoken directly before. Sullivan suggests they meet. Not at the office. Parking garage, level 3. 11 p.m. Sullivan is 51. Gray at the temples. Looks tired. Looks like a man who has seen too much and buried more. I've been documenting Hayes for 2 years, Sullivan says. No preamble, just truth. Waiting for the right moment. You gave me that moment. He hands over a USB drive. 68 pages, internal affairs files, 14 additional complaints that never made it into official records, lost in paperwork, misfiled, accidentally deleted. The system has a lot of accidents. Why now? Samuel asks. Because I'm tired, Sullivan says. Tired of watching good people get crushed. Tired of filing reports that go nowhere. Tired of being part of the machine. He pauses. You're not fighting Hayes. You're fighting a culture, a structure. But structures can break. Or they break you, Samuel says. They're trying, Sullivan admits. They'll try harder. The body cam footage from your stop? Evidence Tech filed a report this morning. Data corruption. Unable to recover. Of course. Samuel expected this. How many times has Hayes's body cam failed? 8, Sullivan says, in 2 years. Always during complaint incidents. Equipment issues, they say. Coincidence has a limit. 8 times crosses that limit. The body cam footage? Gone. 8 minutes that could prove everything. Data corruption, they say, for the 8th time. Sullivan gets back in his car, rolls down the window. Watch your back, Carter. When they fight dirty, you're close to something they can't afford to lose. Samuel drives home. Same BMW, same seat. Everything feels different now. His phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. Drop it, while you still can. He stares at it, long time. Then forwards it to Rachel Bennett. Subject line, add it to the stack. They can't fight the facts. So they fight the man. 2:48 a.m. Samuel sits at his kitchen table, laptop open, coffee cold. Sleep hasn't come in 3 days. Doesn't feel like it will tonight either. The dashcam footage plays on screen. Again. He's watched it 40 times now. Maybe more. Lost count somewhere after 30. 14:37. The traffic stop begins. Hayes approaches. Commands start. Samuel complies. Every instruction followed with surgical precision. Hands visible. Movements slow. Voice respectful. And still it escalates. Still 4 officers surround him. Still they search. Still they question. Still they see a black man in an expensive car and assume crime. He pauses the video. Frame frozen on Hayes's face. The moment right before Samuel showed his badge. Hayes looks certain, confident, righteous. A man who believes he's doing his job. Maybe he believes that. Maybe that's the worst part. Samuel closes the laptop. The kitchen falls dark except for the streetlight outside. Atlanta at night sounds different, quieter, like the city is holding its breath. His mother hasn't slept either. He knows because she called at midnight. Didn't say much, just wanted to hear his voice, make sure he was okay. The patrol car outside her house came back tonight. 4th night in a row. Routine patrol, they say. Nothing to worry about. Everything to worry about. 12 years with the FBI, building cases, putting away criminals, making the system work, or trying to. He thought he was good at it. Thought if he worked hard enough, played by the rules, followed procedure, then justice would follow. Now he's not sure what he thought. His phone sits silent on the table. Colleagues who used to text him about weekend plans don't text anymore. The group chat went quiet after the video dropped. Nobody knows what to say. Or maybe they know exactly what to say and choose silence instead. It feels profoundly, devastatingly lonely. This is the part they don't show you. The 3 a.m. moment. The doubt. The exhaustion so deep it feels like drowning. 18 seconds made him famous. But this moment makes him human. Samuel picks up his phone. Dials. It rings 3 times. "Baby?" His mother's voice, alert. She wasn't sleeping either. "Mama, I don't know if this is the right fight." Silence. 5 seconds that feel like 5 minutes. He can hear her breathing. Steady, strong. The same breath that raised him alone. That worked double shifts. That taught him to survive. "Baby, you've been fighting the right fight since you put on that badge. Don't stop now." Her voice cracks, just slightly. Just enough to break him. "They want you to quit," she continues. "That's how they win. By making you tired." "I am tired, Mama." "I know, baby. I know. But you're not alone. You never were." His mother's voice. "You're not alone." But sitting here, laptop glow the only light, he feels profoundly, devastatingly alone. He thinks about his FBI Academy graduation. 22 years old, full of hope. His mother in the front row wearing her best dress. "Proudest day of her life," she said. She told him, "You gonna make sure people like us get justice too? That's why you here." He believed that. Believed he could change things. Make a difference. 12 years later, he knows better. The world doesn't want to change. The machine doesn't want reform. It wants compliance, silence, acceptance. But maybe that's not his choice to make. Maybe the choice is simpler. Wake up tomorrow. Fight one more day. Let the results take care of themselves. Samuel closes his laptop, looks out the window. Atlanta skyline against pre-dawn blue. The city is starting to wake. Traffic sounds distant but growing. Another day beginning. He makes fresh coffee. New cup. Hot this time. Morning comes slow. The kind of slow that feels like mercy. He makes coffee. New cup. And decides, one more day. He doesn't know it yet. But while he sits here questioning everything, 200 miles away, someone is about to change the game entirely. The video doesn't stop spreading. It does what algorithms do best. Finds audiences, crosses demographics, jumps platforms. TikTok to Twitter, Twitter to Instagram, Instagram to Facebook, Facebook to email chains to dinner table conversations. By day 4, it hits 2.3 million views. The hashtag trends. Hashtag Justice for Agent. Number 3 in the United States. Number 12 worldwide. People share their own stories. Traffic stops that felt wrong. Searches that went too far. The casual humiliation of being profiled, questioned, treated like a criminal for existing. The comment section moves too fast to read. 89,000 shares. Thousands of replies, most angry. Some heartbroken. All demanding answers. Refresh. 20,000 new views. Refresh. 50,000. The algorithm catches fire. Atlanta to New York. New York to LA. A traffic stop in Georgia becomes a mirror. And in that mirror, millions see themselves. 2.3 million people. That's not a crowd. That's a movement. Hashtags don't convict anyone. But they make silence impossible. Gloria Martinez calls on day 5. She's a civil rights attorney. 45 years old. 20 years fighting police misconduct cases. She's seen videos like this before. Too many times. But this one is different. "Agent Carter," she says, "the Civil Rights Legal Fund wants to represent you. Pro bono. We're bringing this to federal court." "I haven't filed a lawsuit," Samuel says. "Not yet," Gloria says. "But you will. And when you do, we'll make sure it counts." The same day, a town hall meeting is organized. Community center in East Atlanta. 400 people show up. Standing room only. People tell their stories. Some are old. Some are recent. All are familiar. Officer Hayes stopped me in 2018. Said my taillight was out. It wasn't. Hayes pulled over my son. Searched his car. Found nothing. But my boy hasn't been the same since. I filed a complaint. Got a letter 3 months later. No violation found. That was the end of it. 11 people. 11 stories. All involving Hayes or officers in his unit. All following the same pattern. Stop. Search. Humiliate. Release. No accountability. The stories pour out like water from a broken dam. Then Captain Sullivan reaches out. They meet at the same parking garage. Level 3. 11 p.m. Sullivan looks older than last time, like he's aged a year in a week. I've been documenting Hayes for 2 years, waiting for the right moment. He hands over the USB drive. 68 pages, internal affairs files, 14 additional complaints that weren't properly logged, lost in paperwork. The system has a lot of accidents. Captain Sullivan slides the USB drive across the table. 2 years of my life. Use it well. Samuel takes it. Knows what it cost Sullivan to gather this. What it costs him to hand it over. Career, reputation, brotherhood. You're not fighting Hayes, Sullivan says. You're fighting a machine, but machines break. Rachel coordinates with Gloria. They build a timeline. Cross-reference complaints. Match dates to settlements. The pattern becomes undeniable. For the first time in a week, Samuel doesn't feel alone. He feels like the tip of something much larger. This is the moment where most stories end. The victim silenced. The system wins. But remember that badge. Remember those 2.3 million people watching. This story is different. Here's why. The FBI tech analyst finds it by accident. She's not even looking for it. Just running routine analysis on Metro Atlanta PD vehicle telemetry. Standard procedure for corruption investigations. Check GPS logs. Cross-reference patrol reports. Look for discrepancies. She finds 16 of them. Cruiser 428. Officer Derek Hayes. September 11th through September 13th. 3 days before the traffic stop. The GPS doesn't lie. 16 times in 3 days. Same vehicle. Same agent. That's not patrol. That's surveillance. September 11th, 2 p.m. Hayes's cruiser parked 0.3 miles from Samuel's apartment building. Report filed, routine patrol, Sector 8. But Samuel's apartment isn't in Sector 8. September 12th, 8 a.m. Hayes's cruiser outside Samuel's gym. Distance, 0.2 miles. Report filed, coffee break. But the gym is in Sector 6. September 12th, 3 p.m. Hayes cruiser at QT gas station across from FBI Atlanta field office. Distance from office, 0.4 miles. Report filed, lunch break, for 3 hours. September 13th, 2:35 p.m. Hayes cruiser 1 block behind Samuel's BMW. Peachtree Street. No report filed for this one. Just GPS coordinates and timestamps that don't lie. 16 instances. 3 days. Following one specific federal agent. The analyst prints the report, brings it to Samuel's supervisor. Sir, you need to see this. Hayes wasn't hunting random black drivers. He was hunting one specific federal agent. The question is, who told him to? Samuel reads the GPS logs in the same secure room where he read the personnel file. Rachel sits across from him again. This time Gloria is there too, and Captain Sullivan, risking everything just by being present. This isn't racial profiling, Gloria says. This is targeted harassment. This is conspiracy. Rachel's fingers fly across her laptop. The question is, why? What were you working on 3 days before the stop? Samuel knows the answer. He's known it since the threatening phone call, but seeing it in data makes it real. The Northside contracts, he says. I was meeting with a source, a contractor who was offered a deal. Pay $100,000 up front. Get a $2.4 million no-bid contract for police facility upgrades. The source had documentation, emails, bank transfers. Who was offering the deal? Gloria asks. Deputy Chief Paul Anderson. The room goes quiet. Anderson is Hayes' direct superior, second in command of the entire department. Access to personnel files, access to patrol routes, access to everything. Rachel pulls up her own files, searches, finds. I have his email, the productivity goals memo, but there's more. She digs deeper into the leaked documents, finds encrypted messages. Most are routine, department business, schedule changes. Then one dated September 12th, 10:14 p.m. from danderson@mapd.gov to Hayes, D, and two other recipients, redacted. Subject, blank. The FBI cyber team broke the encryption 4 days ago. AES 256, military grade. Took 96 hours of processing power. The message body is 8 words. The Fed is getting close to the North Side contracts. Handle the problem before he gets documentation. Quietly. 8 words. Handle the problem before he gets documentation. Not monitor, not be aware. Handle the problem. Quietly. That word does a lot of work. It means make it look random, make it look like profiling, make it deniable. $2.4 million. That's what this traffic stop was really about. Not a car, not a badge, money, GPS log, email thread, contract records, bank statements. The pieces aren't scattered anymore. They're a pattern, and the pattern spells conspiracy. Samuel looks at the evidence spread across the table. For 6 months, he's been building a corruption case. Now he realizes he was the target of one. With this evidence, Samuel has 2 choices: quiet internal investigation or public reckoning. He chooses the one they fear most. He chooses the light. Atlanta City Council calls an emergency session. September 20th, 8 p.m. City Hall Council Chambers. 400 seats packed. 200 people standing. News cameras line the back wall. Audio only. Radio broadcast. This is public record now. 12 council members sit at the raised bench. 6 Democrats, 6 Republicans. Bipartisan concern. When the video hits 2.3 million views, politics becomes secondary to survival. Samuel sits at the witness table. Alone. No attorney. He doesn't need one. He has something better. He has receipts. Officer Derek Hayes sits 3 rows back. His attorney beside him, face carefully neutral. But his hands grip the armrests, knuckles white. Deputy Chief Paul Anderson sits in the back row, phone in hand, texting someone. The screen glows in the dim chamber. The council president bangs the gavel. This hearing will come to order. We're here to address serious allegations regarding traffic stop procedures and potential civil rights violations. Special Agent Samuel Carter has requested to testify. Agent Carter, you're recognized. Samuel stands, approaches the podium, raises his right hand. I do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I do. He sits, adjusts the microphone, looks directly at the council. My name is Samuel Carter. I'm a federal agent, and on September 13th I was targeted. For the next 18 minutes, Samuel presents the evidence. Methodical, calm, devastating. Receipt 1, FBI case file. I was investigating corruption. That's not opinion. That's assignment. Receipt 2, dashcam footage. 4 officers for a traffic stop. You'll hear the commands. You decide if they're standard. Receipt 3, the 911 log. There was no call. The stop was initiated without cause. Receipt 4, live stream. 2 million people watched a federal agent be treated like a criminal. Receipt 5, my badge. The moment everything changed. Receipt 6, Officer Hayes' complaint history. 23 complaints. Ask yourself, why 0 consequences? Receipt 7, the quota emails. Productivity goals, that's what they call it. Receipt 8, 340,000 in settlements. Your tax money buying silence. Receipt 9, demographics. 73% black in a 48% neighborhood. Receipt 10, body cam malfunction the 8th time. Are we still calling that coincidence? Receipt 11, GPS data. Officer Hayes followed me for 3 days. Receipt 12, the email. Handle the Fed problem. Those are Deputy Chief Anderson's words. 12 receipts. 12 pieces of a picture Hayes and Anderson tried to keep scattered. But here, under oath, under lights, the picture is clear. The chamber is silent. You can hear people breathing. Councilmember Johnson speaks first. Black woman, 58. Represents East Atlanta, Samuel's mother's district. Deputy Chief Anderson, she says, do you wish to respond? Anderson approaches the podium, clears his throat. The email was taken out of context. Handle the problem referred to administrative concerns, not... Johnson interrupts. What context makes handle the Fed sound administrative? Anderson has no good answer, opens his mouth, closes it, sits down. Hayes' attorney tries. My client denies any intentional targeting. The GPS data shows he was on patrol in his assigned sector. But he doesn't address the email, doesn't address the 23 complaints, doesn't address the pattern. The attorney talks about context, but some things don't need context. Handle the Fed means what it means. The vote comes at 9:42 p.m. Motion. Independent federal investigation into Metro Atlanta Police Department practices and policies. 10-2 in favor. Secondary motion. Suspend Officer Derek Hayes pending investigation. 11-1 in favor. 10-2. That's not just a vote. It's a statement. Enough. This isn't revenge. It's accountability. The gavel falls. But in the back row, Deputy Chief Anderson makes a phone call. This isn't over. It's just beginning. Hayes is suspended without pay the next morning. Deputy Chief Anderson placed on administrative leave pending criminal investigation. 6 other officers in Hayes' unit under review. The FBI opens a formal investigation into Metro Atlanta Police Department corruption, kickback schemes, and civil rights violations. Within 3 months, 3 victims from previous years come forward. File civil suits. The non-disclosure agreements void once criminal investigation begins. Their voices finally heard. The City Council passes the Police Accountability Act, mandatory body cam audits, Civilian Review Board, end to productivity quotas, independent internal affairs oversight. Hayes faces federal indictment, civil rights violations, conspiracy. Anderson resigns, also faces charges. $1.2 million allocated for implicit bias training and policy reform. It's not perfect. Reform never is. But it's movement. Samuel continues his FBI work. Now public liaison with the community. The investigation he started is finally moving forward. With the political will behind it now, he drives to his mother's house, 3 weeks late for her birthday dinner. But the fried chicken is just as good reheated. The peach cobbler, too. Dorothy Carter looks at her son. I'm proud of you, baby. I know, Mama. Hayes is suspended. Anderson is gone. The system is shaken. But shaken isn't reformed. That work takes longer. 23 complaints became 1 federal case. 1 case became 6 indictments. 6 indictments became systemic change. That's how it works. Slowly. Then, all at once. Samuel Carter still drives that BMW, still gets looks. The difference? Now he knows 2 million people have his back. Justice isn't a moment. It's a process. It's GPS logs and encrypted emails and 18 seconds of silence. It's a federal agent who refused to be quiet and a community that refused to look away. No one is above the law, not the people who break it, and not the people paid to enforce it. The badge didn't make me right. The receipts did. The truth did. If this story mattered to you, hit subscribe. Because these stories, they're everywhere, and they need to be told. Drop a comment. Have you experienced profiling? Have you seen the system fail? You're not alone, and your story matters too. Share this, not for me, for the next Samuel Carter who needs to know, the truth has power. Use it. He reached for his badge. The officer reached for his gun. But the truth reached further.